My name is Abel. I'm going to present to you on Habenerd from Bursar or from the finance portal. So as a Bursar or as the financial accountant, I'm able to see the total students that are there. I'm able to see the expected fees. I'm able to see the amount that is being collected and the amount that is outstanding. This showcases the demo or the snapshot of how the finances are currently looking like. I can see the collection trends for the past month. For example, I can see that July collected 4.2, August I collected 7.9, then in September I collected 9.350. I can also see how the payments are actually being done, with the majority being EcoCash. Then I've got MasterCards, then I've got cash payments, then I've got bank transfers. I can see the arrears aging that is there. This is actually help to actually do financial planning for the school. I can see the recent payments that were done. For example, I'm seeing Tinta who paid via EcoCash $45. I can view those payments and ensure that they're properly credited. I can also see the top 5 students that are in arrears. So this basically gives a snapshot on how the finance is actually looking like. So as the Bursar or as the finance team, I can actually come here and I can set various fees. So for example, here my school starts from ECDA up to A level, and I can go there and set the termly fees, the cost of levels, and if there's any boarding, I can actually add that so that it applies universally. I can do the same thing for Form 1s and Form 4. You can actually set per particular grade on how it would look like. These are the various invoices that are there. You can also generate invoices and you share these invoices to the various students. So for example, here I clicked generate invoice. You can choose that you want to generate an invoice for Noctula Svanda for term 325, and then this invoice is going to be $100 invoice, and then I can choose that this invoice is due on the 2026. If I click generate, it will generate the invoice as well as send a notification to the parent that such an invoice has been generated and is needed for them to actually pay. I can view all the various payments that have been done in the past term. So for example, these are all the payments. These were done by EcoCash, MasterCard Cash. These were done by bank transfer. So this allows you to be able to easily see the various payments that are there. You can also view all these payments and filter them by whether they were paid or they are currently pending. You can also do reconciliations if you want to do any reconciliations from the bank, from EcoCash, from MasterCard, etc. You can actually select a particular student and you can fully view their account to see whether they're in arrears, what's the recent payments, what's their term fees summary. This gives you a good review of how the student is actually performing in terms of financial side. You can come on arrears, where you can actually start viewing various age and brackets to see how many learners are in the 0 to 30 days, how many learners are in the 31 to 60 days. And then you can view total arrears that are standing, how many students are in arrears, what's the percentage, what's the arrear rate, and then how many are actually at risk of not paying. You can actually see that Noctula Svanda is owing $165, and this is overdue because it's $95 old. You can see Sipongomo is owing $76, and this is at 35%. You can view or send the manual reminder there. You need to also note that the system also sends automatic reminders. You can set that automatic reminders are sent every week or every 2 weeks to ensure that parents pay these fees. You can also view a detailed report where you can actually see how you're actually performing in terms of collection. In terms of term 1, you were aiming to collect 22,000, but you only collected 20,500. Then how did you perform at term 2? How did you perform at term 3? You can also see obviously the payment mix that we talked about earlier on. You can see the arrears trend. You can see the monthly collection trends. You can also see the various risk levels that are there per class so that you can do any follow-up if necessary. You can do advanced settings financially for For your school, for example, you can set any merchant codes that are there. You can set the bank names as well as the bank details that are there. You can actually set fees per grade. You can set the automatic notifications that I was telling you about, whereby you can say that before fees is due, make sure that you send 7 days before, or make sure that after it's due, you send every 10 days or something like that. So this helps you to properly manage your finance and see how the school is performing, as well as automating following up on parents on these various initiatives. Thank you so much.